Hello there, my name's Mando Mike, and this is a lesson aimed for intermediate mandolin players on the chords to Goodbye Liza Jane. Last month, in June 2020, we did the melody to Goodbye Liza Jane. So I suggest if you haven't already, and I've linked it below, head over to that lesson and make sure you know the melody to this song before we tackle the chords in this lesson. What we're going for in this lesson is sort of an unconventional way of playing the chords, a more open way, and hopefully that will sound a bit like this. Before we do that, I'd just like to mention your two other normal options. So everything we talk about in this next 10 minutes or so is included in the PDF link below. This is all free. So when you see a chord progression, this is in the key of A. So the opening line is A, E, A, B, A, E. So it's just A, D's and E's. So straight away, your brain should think I have two mainstream options. The first one is to play your chords, just the basic A, D and E with a nice sort of simple rhythm, and that will sound a bit like this. Or your other option, say you're in a bluegrass setting or you're in like a big group of people, is to play what we call the bluegrass chop chord. So closed A, across to a D, and then down to an E, and then you just so. And if I bring the fiddle in, that will sound a bit like this. Neither of those options are the subjects of this lesson. I want us to look at something that is a little more difficult and is a good exercise for intermediate players, because I don't want you to settle for always just playing the obvious chord options. So this tune is a great example. If we take the melody to the opening two bars, which very simply is just a little scale up starting on the A. So my brain straight away says, okay, well what if I take that an octave lower and do it on the G string? Well, straight away to me there, I have something that sounds like, you know, you could call it a bass line. And then what would happen if we added some double stops to all four of those notes that match the chords? So the first note is an A, and it's an A chord, so I can add the E above it. And then the second note moves to a B, and the chord is an E, so I can keep that E note there. And then the third note is a C sharp, and we go back to an A chord, so I can still keep my E there. So at the moment I'm droning this E as, and then the fourth note is a D, which if you play on the 7th fret and it's a D chord, means you can play the F sharp on the D string. So now we have 4 double stops that we could play. And I'm doing, I don't know if you saw that, I'm doing a little shift up for that D. Just I like the tone of my 3rd and 1st finger rather than my little finger and 3rd finger. So like that. And then the final step is if we assumed those were now our chords and then started adding some rhythm. And what's handy about being in the key of A is we've got 2 open strings here that sound really nice. So what would happen if we just played those double stops like that and started droning those open strings in between? You'd get this. sudden that sounds like a chord progression that is slightly more interesting than... Now we've got... Which to me sounds really nice. I really like playing chords like this. And so what you're effectively doing is you're trying to keep some open strings ringing for that to fill the sound out, and having a more interesting bass line than just moving between your normal chords. You're actually thinking about linking the chords together. There's sort of a logical step between each one. So if I was to bring J back in and play the A part with that, it sounds like this. So that whole A part has been constructed just using those 4 double stops. One other thing to note is when there's 2 chords per bar, I'm keeping the right hand quite simple. You'll see on the tab it's just... And then when you get to a bar where it just has 1 chord for the bar, I change my rhythm slightly and doing... So bass, drum, down, up, down, up. Like that. So that's a slight change that I do when I see a bar with just 1 chord in. You can actually do any rhythm over there. You could just, or you know, that's my choice. So feel free to not agree with me and do something different. When you come to the B part, there's just one other thing I would like to mention. So the melody goes, and we could carry on playing that rhythm while the melody goes on. But I quite like matching that melody with the chord. So you're almost playing the melody, the rhythm of the melody with your chords. So that's what I've done, and it does it twice in the B part. So that's why there's 2. Don't ever be frightened, especially when you're playing open chords, to just let them ring. You don't always have to be filling stuff in with your right hand. So now let's play the B part. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully you can hear we've now done A and B separately, and every single chord is just constructed using those 4 double stops that we worked out from the melody. The only thing left to do for this lesson is just to grab J one more time, and we'll play the tune in full this time, just once through, and hopefully you like how it sounds. You can pretty much do this with any fiddle tune in, well, what I've given you is the theory in A, but you can do sort of G, D, C, A and E are very suitable for this technique. So it's over to you after this. Take this away and try this on other fiddle tunes that you know. But first let's play it all as one full tune. Here we go. thank you, Jay, for helping us demonstrate that. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. I hope it's given you an idea of what else you can do with chords other than just sticking straight down the line when you play fiddle tunes. This doesn't work so well when you've got singing because you can get in the way of the singer, but this works really well if you say it's just you and a fiddle player, as we have done in this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit subscribe if you've enjoyed this lesson, and head over to mandomike.com for all your other mandolin related needs, and we'll see you next month.